Hello, this is Neil from iPaintGirls.com, and we're continuing doing the Lara Croft. Please visit iPaintGirls.com for more free tutorials, and it's the easiest way to find all the parts for this tutorial and all my tutorials. So what we're going to do now is, I don't know what just happened there. Let's see here. I'm going to get rid of the selection I had. We're going to start on the clothing. So again, we're going to disappear everything except for those two layers in the bottom. Go to select, color range, and now we're going to select the close color range. And notice these little lines here actually, I want to get rid of those, so I could either do it by painting or I can just hold on select and add the selection. That way everything I'm going to be working on in the next layers will fill those parts in. That way the lines look right. Right, so first thing we'll do is the shirt. Okay, hit Control H on the keyboard to get rid of the lines. The selection's still there, it just gets rid of it so we can't see it. I'm going to open up my shadows groups. I'm going to start with the bottom one as always. That is, I'm going to start with the shading one. And for clothing, pretty much the same thing as the hair. Select the color of the clothing, holding on the Alt key to do that. Bring up this. I'm going to have this time though something like this. And then I'm going to pick my soft brush first. I like starting with my soft brush first and just to lay in some of the main shadows. I know that a lot of this is going to be in shadow, so I just want to start from outside and push all the way through. Just going to add a little bit of shadow up there as well. I know most of this glove will be in shadow, so just make it all dark. A lot of this glove here, the palm, I'm going to make this smaller. All that palm is going to be in shadow. A lot of those fingers will be in shadow. I'll do the butt after I do this. I know that there's going to be, because where the light's kind of coming up and at an angle, this is going to be all lit up. I know that a lot of this will be, slightly more shadowed. And then I know I'm going to have, I'll start with the hard brush for this. For her breast here, I'm going to go to 100% opacity. Might as well put all that. And I'm going to have to, consider those wrinkles as well that's going to be pulling on this. But I want the overall shape of that there to be there because that's going to define the shape of the breast, and then I'll blur it out. But that's just not quite how I want it. So I'm going to undo. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of the shape I need. I know it comes from here, comes up here, so I can get that shape in there. I'm going to go ahead and kind of just define those shapes a little bit. Oops. So this is the kind of stuff that, for me, oftentimes takes the longest because I have to really think about everything, how I want it to be. So I'm thinking kind of like that will be the main shape, and then I'll have, obviously I'll go in and fix that up and everything. Then I can zoom in. I just wanted to make sure I have the shape I need first, and then I can go in and start refining the shape with a slightly smaller brush and more defined brush strokes. So this is pretty much all I'm going to be doing. I'm going to push pause while I do this. Okay, that didn't take too long. Once I have the shapes, then I can come in with my eraser and just, start erasing some of that line because I don't want it too defined there. I'm going to grab now my blur tool and I just want to blur some of the lines. I don't want them to be too hard. Maybe kind of blur the edges a little bit. And then leave a couple of them hard and some of them blurred. Cool. For me, clothing is the most difficult to do. Now, zooming in here, I know I'm going to have, I'll use this hard. Oops, I'm on the blur tool still. I'll have, some, I need to zoom way in because when you're using the pen tool, you usually want to be zoomed way in. That way your lines will be nice and defined. I'm going to kind of just run along here since I know typically, with certain things like cloth, the dark and light will be right next to each other to make a big contrast. And so I'm going to have that all be lit up. So I'm just thinking ahead of time. And so basically you just have to, think about the wrinkles. Like I know because like where the light's coming from, a lot of these wrinkles, how they're going to be shaped. And that wrinkle probably wouldn't run all the way down like that, so I'm going to have to probably change the lines in the shadowing. So what I'll do is I will erase. I'm going to have to redo that part now. I don't want those to be coming down so much. Get my soft brush back here. Kind of just pull all this. And then I'll take my eraser tool, a big soft brush, run it through like that. Notice I'm just going to have, okay, hold on, let me push pause. Right, okay, so went ahead and fix that up, and then I can go to my shadows layer and pick even a darker color if I wanted to, just for some of these parts way down here where the shadows are no longer showing up. I have to zoom way in, then I can add, those in there. Okay, now I think I'm going to add some highlights and then I'll see how that looks, and then maybe go back in and add some more shadows. But let's see what this looks like first. Turn my opacity way down, just going to kind of lighten up part of it, and then I can go in closer, turn my brush way down, keep it on soft brush though. I'm just kind of making sure I have a nice highlight there and a nice highlight along here. Okay, then I can take this brush here. This brush has size and opacity set to it. I need to go in and fix those lines up, totally forgot about that. But this has both size and opacity set to pin pressure. Man, so you gotta it's like, I don't know, sometimes this brush, if it gives you a problem like that, then just go in, use this smudge tool, and you can just kind of pull that line, get the line looking right. Just want a couple, light lines in here to kind of break it up. Sometimes you can go make a line like that and go right over and then so you use my smudge tool, go right over a part that had shadow on it. Then you go back in the shadow later, and I'll show you in just a second. Then we go back into the right, and then we can just run right along that side like that, and so you can have, you know, a light part intersecting another part, and then you'd have to go in on the highlight layer, the one above that, grab that color and just kind of push over like that. That way it's all solid. Okay, so that's pretty much how you do clothing. You just gotta do all the wrinkles. That wrinkle looks really ugly. I'm gonna get rid of it.